So we will be discussing the clinical case scenario of abnormal uterine bleeding today. Okay.
A 45-year para-sterilized woman complains of cycles once in 20 days, lasting for 6 to 8 days. Passing clots since 8 months, gives history of painful periods. Her prior cycles were regular. She is anemic.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the present complaints and the past history? What else you will elicit?
Ma'am, she's been having frequent cycles, ma'am, once in 20 days. And she's been having it for 6 to 8 days, which is for a longer period. She's been passing clots, so we should ask how many pads she's changing per day and whether the pads are fully soaked or partly soaked. Then she gives history of painful periods, ma'am. So we should ask if she's having pain before, during and after periods, or when she exactly has pain.
Okay. So you want to ask the history of painful periods before, pain is before, during or after. What does it indicate? If there is a pain before, after or during, what does it indicate?
Ma'am, it means she has triple dysmenorrhea. It could be because of adenomyosis or endometriosis.
Okay. So you said passing clots. So whether it carries some meaning?
Which means the normal fibrinolytic activity is not sufficient, ma'am, because she has excessive bleeding.
So that itself indicates, when there is a history of passing clots, that itself indicates there is a heavy menstrual bleeding. There is no sufficient time for the fibrinolytic action to take place. That's why she is passing clots. Because these are all the subjective thing, but it has some meaning. So what other history will elicit from her?
If she has had any bleeding from any other site,
Yes.
Whether she has any lethargy, because she's anemic, so if she has any palpitation or lethargy.
Yes. Any other drug history will elicit, whether it has some relationship with abnormal uterine bleeding. Suppose if she is on some drugs. So that drug history is very, very important. Sometimes the patient can be on aspirin. Very good. Aspirin. Sometimes some perimenopausal issues like hot flushes or something, they may take even hormones. So when they take irregular hormones or aspirin, antipsychotic drug, all this can affect your menstrual cycle. So that drug history is very, very important. And of course, she is sterilized. If she is not, even sterilization can cause some time an abnormal uterine bleeding. Always we have to take a contraceptive history, whether she is taking oral pill. So when they are on oral pill, they can have a intermittent spotting or something like that. And when they have a copper T intrauterine device, that time also they can have spotting. So that contraceptive history is very, very important. Whether the patient can be on tamoxifen, breast cancer. So drug history is very important. So when a lady comes with an abnormal uterine bleeding, heavy menstrual cycles, so we have to find out the history, elaborate on the present complaint and specific history, whether there is a period of amenorrhea, where all this problem started after a period of amenorrhea. So especially when there is around perimenopause, when there is a period of amenorrhea followed by heavy bleeding, what does it indicate? What disease it indicates? And what is the common anovulatory cycle in perimenopause? Metropecia. Wonderful. So metropecia hemorrhagica, there will be a period of amenorrhea. During that, what is the actual pathophysiology happening in metropecia hemorrhagica? There is a period of amenorrhea and profuse bleeding.
Yes.
So what is happening?
Ma'am, the follicles start developing, ma'am, but the dominant follicle fails to mature. So there's no progesterone, ma'am. So there's unopposed estrogen action.
Very good. So there is a follicular phase is there. There is no ovulation, anovulation. There is a negative feedback is not there. The estrogen keeps on building and there is a hypertrophy of the uterus at endometrial hyperplasia.